welcome back to I Only Listen to 90s Music. We got a packed house tonight. If you were following us in our Facebook group, online, anywhere, we had a drive. Some people call it what I call it a standoff with our listeners. To make sure we got it to 250 subscribers on the YouTube page. Man, y'all blasted it away. Even though we had to starve y'all out for like a day and a half in the group.
Did. I shut the group down for 2 days.
It's a hostile takeover.
It was a hostile takeover. Like, yeah, Dee was like, so you just being like a tyrant. Yeah. So I shut the group down for 2 days until we got to our goal. And we did. And, you know, y'all were rewarded. It's open again.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
baby,
we just
you
said
should
we
have
were gonna
changed
have
your profile pic to when Dave Chappelle was playing Puffy when he was shutting the studio down.
Exactly what I should have done. Exactly what I should have done. And then I even turned off post approval as a reward. And I regretted it one time. Somebody the other day hopped in and was trying to get people to do, you know, some kind of, you know, one of them scam craps or whatever. And somebody reported the comment, and I got rid of them. But everybody's been under their best behavior so far. I mean, we'll see.
So make sure y'all join the group if you're on Facebook, on Listen to 90s Music, on IG, everywhere. Subscribe, do all that good stuff. But Stacey, we have winners of the contest. Introduce them for us.
Right, absolutely. So a part of the contest, so again, we wanted more subscribers, and we were like, okay, if you subscribe, we get to this number, we will pick your name out of a hat or something, and you can come on the show. So our 2 people that won are actually 2 people that are very near and dear to me. So first and foremost, I'm going to introduce Dee Dee, who is my sister. If you ever heard me talk about my sister Dee, this is who I'm talking about. So Dee has been around me since about 86. They brought her home one day, and for whatever reason, like I promise I didn't ask for her.
It's your sister.
She's around. So everything that I know about the 80s and the 90s, she knows about the 80s and 90s. We're 5 years apart, but like she was there with me. So when I'm taping videos on the box, and she knows don't tape over them. She knows, you know, fast forward to the end and then we go to the next one. Somewhere out there's a VHS tape that we have that have the best videos ever. We don't know where it is, but one day. So Dee is here. So thank you, Dee, for coming. And our other person is Dr. Candace.
Doctor.
And I met very long time ago on the campus of Southeast Missouri State University. And we were roommates there. And since then, we have legit traveled the world together. And she was my roommate and my friend, and now she is my soror. That's it. So like, so these 2 people that are very near and dear to me. And also when it comes to music, Candace and I had a bootleg CD business rolling in our dorm room. And so
Somebody had the burner.
Right. So Candace had the compact Rosario, and I had the mind to remember every song ever created. And like right now I have this huge dry erase board in my room, in my office. In our dorm room, I took pieces of white paper and taped them on the wall, like a huge wall just full of white paper. And every time that I would think of another song, I'd write it down. And people would come by and be like, hey, like, so we could download it. So we were downloaded on Morpheus, not even LimeWire then. It's like,
yeah, I don't think LimeWire was around.
Y'all had Napster popping?
Huh?
Was Napster already done?
I think Napster was done.
What about Bear Share?
No, we were on. We had Morpheus, and it was another thing, and I can't remember what the other one was. But that's so. Every time I think of a song,
was it Kazaa?
Yes.
There it is.
Yes,
that's it. That's what it was. And we I think of a song, we download it. So when people come and be like, "Hey, I want to, y'all got this?" I already got it. Don't even worry about it. So, and
shout out to the long-term bootleggers such as myself that knew exactly which year, what y'all was talking about. That was somebody's like, "Hold on, how do you know that?" Like, oh, I've been bootlegging for a long time.
Like I said, these people, like they, luckily, like they're in the group, they're active in the group, and they actually happen to win. And I'm happy to have them here with us as we get down to the nitty gritty with this here show.
All right, thank y'all ladies for coming on.
Hey,
So,
congrats.
first off, we have to do an in memorandum for this group here, the Dipset. This time last year, we saw them get put to rest as a group.
And Jada Kiss is still walking free, and nobody wants to talk about that.
And didn't he do a couple more verses since then? Hasn't he appeared?
I think he just kind of keeps showing up to stuff. I'm not really sure.
He just show up now.
Yeah, I think he just show up to stuff now. But and like I said, the law is not. I guess is not on our side because the man is still walking free. And he is not being arrested.
He the Michael Jordan of Verzuz.
He is.
Yeah, might could be.
I mean, because he's won 2 Versuses. He's won one in the old format and one in the new.
Yeah.
And one drunk, one sober. Like Michael Jordan.
He the
Michael Jordan.
He had the flu game. He had his flu game.
You know what?
So, ladies, what did y'all think about that? Did y'all get a chance to see that last year? That Lox Dipset?
Not the original one. I saw when Jadakiss came back the second time.
Was that the second time?
No,
the first time was
the first
what
one was
the
against
one where he
Fab,
was
I
like,
think.
where the gift comes from. Listen, my memory.
Oh no, that's the second one. It is the second one.
I think the first one was against Fab.
Yeah, Fab.
Yeah. That was the first one. The
didn't
second
see that
one was when Jules Santana looked homeless.
He snatched his hand.
A homeless dude that got caught like in a time warp, like where it was like dude, he was like, and then you was like, dude, Sodom, did you like go in a time loop? Like you like go back?
He like legit just kind of put on every outfit that he had. He was like a little kid that just was like, I'm gonna dress myself today.
He got that Christmas fit. He got everything he got for Christmas and put it all on in one day.
That's it. That's exactly it. That's it.
Along with the necklace his grandma gave him.
That's exactly what happened.
So yeah, and I remember we talked about it last year, and it'll be in the show notes, people, if they want to check out that episode. But I think about it now, like that was the pinnacle of Verzuz. Everything has kind of been.
Yeah,
I agree.
I can do without it now.
Yeah.
Verzuz.
Oh, you just can do without it.
I can do without Verzuz at this point.
I don't need it. Like, if
it was
anything,
cool when
I
we
want
was
to
in
see
the house.
more. I want to see more old acts. So, like the ones that have the older acts, like with Patty and Gladys, like that was just an enjoyable night. With Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers, that was just an enjoyable night. With the exception, I mean, Steve talked too much, but it was still an enjoyable night. Hell, even with Erykah Badu and Jill Scott, that was just a night. It was just a night you just chilled out and you watched, and they just appreciated each other and the music and everything was good. So I would like to get back to that part of it.
Yeah.
Rather than whatever the hell it is we doing now, because now stuff don't even make sense. Matches don't even make sense.
They just throwing niggas on stage.
I understand the comments. Like I said, at this point, like you just the comments is what gives it life. Like you just got to be there for that.
Pretty much, I'm making comments just to see if I end up on the screen.
Pretty much, yeah.
And hopefully I get a screenshot and that, like somebody screenshots it and shows that I said something. But other than that,
anytime you see Sammy in a Verzuz, you know it's over with.
Whoa.
Let me tell you something.
Don't do Sammy.
Let me tell you something.
Now you can still sing, but you just didn't need to see him in a Verzuz.
Let me tell you something about Sammy. I'm still upset about all. First off, the beard, like he's a little kid to me. He's still like this little like, and I'm like, this is the little boy that was talking about the crazy things I do for love. That was calling on his cell phone even on peak time. That was tricking. Nobody wants to talk about that. Sammy was tricking before it was popular because he was calling that girl on his cell phone on peak time. So the kids out there in the audience, cell phone, it didn't used to always be free. Sometimes after 9, you had to wait till after 9 to make a phone call, and it didn't cost no money. And when text messaging came out, that cost per text message.
Per text.
Right. So he out here balling out, paying per text and paying on peak time minutes. Oh, baby, listen. No, absolutely. He was tricking before it was fashionable. And nobody wants to talk about that. I will.
All right, next up, We gotta talk about this Kelis versus Beyonce thing.
Oh Jesus!
I mean, I know it's been, but we haven't talked about it the way we talk about it, which is a little bit more nerdy than just the Beehive all about it. I dislike both of these artists. Full disclosure, I don't know who to cheer for. I have no problem with either. I just don't like the monikers of both of them. That's just my kind of thing. Like Kelis just gets on my nerves in general. And then Beyonce is just popular. So it's just I just don't really give a popular that much. So by default, I'm not gonna like her. But what do y'all think about this? I'm gonna go to you first, Dee Dee.
Can we talk about how, like, since probably 2 days ago, everybody learned a new word called interpolation? Nobody knew what that was before. Now all of a sudden, everybody's in the music industry expert, like, oh, why are you so mad? It was just an interpolation. Like, sir, did you really know what that was?
Like,
I'm really questioning. Now everybody is like in the comments, like they just can't wait to find a post about it so they can insert that word. Like, I'm proud that people learned a new word, but also like, can we stop? Like, you don't know. Like,
it's like when people start using the word problematic.
Yeah.
Toxic. People are toxic. Man.
So, but Dee Dee, what do you think about this whole thing? Like this?
I mean, devil's advocate, I get both sides of it. Like, as a courtesy, sure. Like when I first heard about it, and this was before the album even came out that night, and Kelis was on her rampage on Instagram or TikTok or whatnot, like, I assumed it was like the whole song. Like, I thought originally they were talking about the song, it wasn't Milkshake. They said it was, I can't think of it.
Live Without You.
Right. Yeah. So I thought like B took like the whole song and just like did a verse on it or something like that. So album comes out, we listen to the song, and I'm like, I don't know, this don't sound right. Then they came out with Milkshake. I'm saying it was that, and I swear I listened to that song probably like 3 times trying to figure out where it came in at. Like, I was
relation. Think before you talk.
I feel like, and then I immediately go to TikTok, who is the source for everything, because I was like, somebody had to make a video to explain this to me, because somebody would have I know they was on it. I knew they had like took out the vocals, put the beats together like they do, and I was like, I still don't get it. Next day, okay, now they're talking about it's the drum, and I'm like, okay, if you say so. Like, I don't understand where it came into play. But in regards to the whole situation, sure, B could give you a courtesy and be like, hey, I'm about to take just like these 2 beats of a drum and put it in my song that you used way back in the day on Milkshake or whatnot. But also, I mean, you didn't create the beat. Like, it's not your words.
That for real?
Say it again. You didn't create the beat.
You didn't create the beat. Like, I understand the lyrics, but like, that was not, she took the beat. Like, so doesn't have to belong to the person that makes the beat. So if I put something on your song, are you saying like I can't ever use that outside of it if I create it, if I contribute it?
And like, at least think she's more important than she really is. That's my main thing in general. Period. That's why I dislike her. Period. She's not as important as she believes she is. She's got maybe 2 hits. Let's keep it 100.
What, I Hate You So Much and Milkshake?
You got
no,
it.
so
I'm going straight hits.
I'm going to throw in Bossy.
Bossy.
There you go. That's 3.
Because Bossy, she did come out with Bossy, and she brought us the Bossy Bang. Because even though I had the bang before she did, write that down. I have pictures. But heifers went out and got everybody wanted the bang. This bitch is still going to get the bang. They still want the Bossy Bang. So
right.
I'll give her that.
I'll give her Get Along With You. Like, those are 4 songs.
Yes. Get Along With You it's a good song, but I wouldn't call that a hit where everyone would know it. Like, I like that song.
It's not a hit song.
But I wouldn't be surprised that most people don't know that song.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Candace, what do you think?
At least it's not that important. Her career is extended by Nas. Let's be real about Dave Nas.
Candace, as a doctor,
get your expertise.
Right. And I feel as if Kelis has some unsettled issues that she may have been dealing with that have been projected onto Beyonce. Your thoughts?
So I agree. So my mindset is of the thing of like, okay, like I totally got where she was coming from. And I also do feel like a lot of this anger was, I think this was the straw that broke the camel's back for her, of like someone who is either not recognized or not appreciated or whatever have you, either to the point to where she deserves or the point to where she feels like she deserves, which is where this anger was coming from, right? Also, in those 2 videos that she posted, hair was bomb. I'm actually going to get my hair cut in that shape because it was, let's note that her hair was bomb. But anywho, I try to put myself in her shoes. Like if someone else produced like a workshop and I had facilitated said workshop and somebody went and took that workshop and did something with it, I would still feel like someone should have at least told me, not that I'm owed anything or anything like that, but I would just feel like if there was in some way, shape, or form my intellectual property could have been used in some way, I would like the common courtesy. That is just the approach that came from it. Now, I think the reason why I think people beat up on her because it was her versus Beyonce versus like her towards somebody else.
That's why I'm like, oh
yeah, like if it was her versus Carrie Hilson, I think people wouldn't have been as quick to jump on.
No, they would have. They ended that woman's career.
They've banned her from Carrie Hilson since.
Not a damn thing.
Hold on,
right.
wait a minute.
But I'm saying if it was like
movies.
But I'm saying like, hey, don't sleep on Tubi.
Hold on, what you say,
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's my shit. She be on Tubi movies.
Right. Oh,
I love Tubi movies, though, for the record.
Scott and Daryl and Tubi, like they are the president and treasurer of the fan club.
Tubi
You know,
SOLC
SOLC's on Tubi.
I know. Let me say. So what I watch on Tubi and what they watch on Tubi are two very different.
We watch all the Detroit Hood movies.
I have the Tubi app. What I watch and what they watch are two very different things.
You done watch Plug Love like 15 million times.
Exactly. I'm on Tubi watching old episodes of Benson, and they are not watching Benson.
We're watching the Dirty D. We watching the Dirty D.
But yeah, I think a lot of her argument was just discounted because it was her versus Beyonce. I think if it was her versus anybody else, or if someone of a different race had done something to her, I think the argument would be different, which is why I'm just like, man. And then to Dee's point, people don't know music. Like you're jumping on a bandwagon simply because of the person that she was attacking, not because you have all this knowledge behind the music field and things like that. Yeah.
I just feel like this is your post. This is who y'all choosing as the poster child for artist rights. Like this is who y'all going with. This y'all king. Like I just don't understand what's going with. It's just kind of like back in civil rights when they couldn't go with the little dark skinned girl. They had to get Rosa. Like I feel like it's along the same lines. You got to pick the right person for the cause, and I don't think she is the one to champion this. Try again. Like that's my total thoughts. Like.
See, my thing is, I've always thought that Beyonce's whole career is an interpolation. So that's my other side of it. Hold on, go ahead, Doctor. Hold on, let me put you back in the main screen. Go ahead.
What is interpolation?
It's a very good question.
What Dee said earlier. I just think, but I guess there's a fine line, I guess, between being able to understand and see something dope and then adapt it. So I have a fine line with it because sometimes it do seem like she be stealing people's stuff, but then it's like, okay, well, you saw something that was kind of dope and you just adapted it. So I go back and forth on that, but I do feel her whole career is an interpolation.
Candace, to answer your question, in popular music, an interpolation, also called a replayed sample, refers to using a melody or portions of a melody, often with modified lyrics, from a previously recorded song, but re-recording the melody instead of sampling it.
Is that what Pharrell and them did with the Robin Thicke and the Marvin Gaye?
No, they straight jacked that.
No, they just took that.
All right.
Like, nah, they just played the instrumental and just started singing. That's that.
They press that record play button down on the tape.
Yeah. So to that point, like sometimes when you'll hear people like, oh, this has you'll look up like a song or something and looking at the song credits and it'll be like, this song contains an interpolation of whatever, and you'll be like, wait, I didn't even hear that in there, and you're not going to, because it's like the way that it's been redone. And with the Pharrell situation, or with this situation, it was a beat. It was a drum beat that Kelis had nothing to fucking do with. It was a Neptune sound. That's what they're known for. And using it again, I mean, it's my shit. I use it again. But
so then I wonder if, because based on what I heard before, it was allegedly snatched or whatever have you. Because to be honest, I cannot tell the difference. But based on what was heard or not heard, if it was Pharrell's thing, in my mind, I'm like, so why credit Kelis? If it was something that Pharrell
why
did,
do you get mad at the side chick and not your husband?
Her anger was displaced. She needed to direct that towards the person that she is really mad at and who hurt her, which was Pharrell. They got some history there, as you can see. Based upon, I guess, whatever deals she had in the past, and mad because she didn't get those rights. And I get that people get
publishing.
Right. People getting these bad deals.
When both of your exes want to hang out still, and you're the common denominator, they don't mess with you no more.
Oh, back.
Pharrell and Nas kicking. You're not the. They don't want to keep
That's all I'm saying. All I say is this: is that I haven't heard the song and I'm not going to listen to it. But two, what I do appreciate is Beyonce's watch this moment of just saying, "Fuck it, we're just gonna take the damn thing out."
Yeah,
so now,
that was solid of them.
Yes.
And it's like for me, it wasn't solid. It was petty. And if you stay petty, you don't have to get petty. And I appreciate that. Because it's like, okay, watch this. You ain't got to worry about shit no more. Girl, fuck you in this song. And took it out. So now, I'll say this. I don't know if she was going to, she has a song, she had a credit on there, right? Like a songwriter credit or something on there. And if you get a songwriter credit, don't you receive something for that?
No, Pharrell get all that bag.
Yeah, for real. And Chad or for real.
Somebody.
I'm sorry, both of them.
Yeah, Neptune was getting that.
Somebody, whoever was getting it, they ain't getting it no more.
Well, that's probably what fueled her anger.
Have that to his son or something. Like, you know how you can like give rights to some publishing to like your kids.
Yeah, like that's what Khaled be doing with his son.
Yeah. So she was credited on the song. Is that what?
She had a credit. So that's how she found out. Is that so? Whatever the hell it was that leaked, people like, because no one heard it. You can't hear, like, no one heard the thing. They saw the credit, and I think that people were just like, oh snap, this song features something from Kelis, and that's how she found out. She found out about it on the internet.
Oh,
that's how she found out what was going on, and then she went on this whole tirade. And so I think sometimes people feel like you owe them things, and sometimes you don't. I know sometimes I struggle with that of like what I feel that people like owe me or whatever, but I also don't make long videos about it. And it if anything, I think a lot of people already feel like she's bitter anyway about a lot of stuff that has happened in her life.
What do you mean? Like her whole life.
Like her whole life. A lot of things that happened.
She started out being mean. Like she started out bitter. Her first song.
Yeah, man, she hated everybody.
So, and I think it just didn't help. But to that point, I also don't want to dismiss how she felt. Like if you really felt slighted, you really felt slighted. But if people already feel like you are bitter, and they're already going to be on Beyonce's side, and you're making all these posts and all of that, it just doesn't help how you look. It doesn't help the optics of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even know why you would even go on for this battle against Beyonce. Like it's a war of attrition you can now win. Like it's no. I just gotta take this L.
Pretty much. Like her anger was displaced. If the video was, and she was mad and she directed that towards the Neptunes, directed that towards Pharrell, I could rock with that a little bit because like that's where the history comes from. I don't think Beyonce and her team of lawyers and all of that they went through the proper channels to get that that done. Like she ain't trying to get no lawsuits, right? But like I just feel like it was a missed opportunity the way that you went about it, and you came out it as like the angry Black woman. Like I get hurt feelings. Everybody has a right to feel how they feel, but like when you go live and you put that out there, like it's going to be subjected to everyone's comments. But shout out to all her advocates. I hope they go support her hair care line or cooking line, whatever she got going on. Because
got those cookbooks. Slanging cookbooks.
Or is it cooking with Kelis?
or something.
Shout out to one of our listeners. I won't say his name. He said she got that man to die. Her husband to die. Drove him crazy. He died. I'm not gonna say who it is. That's wrong.
I'm just gonna pray.
Thoughts and prayers.
Very good. Tots and pairs. I'm sending tots and pairs.
All right. Next up, Brownstone is now members of Sigma Gamma Rho.
So
all three? I mean, well,
all
Okay,
three.
we got to discuss this now. This is
So this is very fun. So right now on this call we have 4 members of D9 organizations, and so when I saw the announcement at the SGRO at there. So wait a minute, okay, I have a national conference. So Dee, my sister Dee, is a proud member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
Oh snap! We got the direct plug on this.
Listen, okay, so, like, wait a minute, hold on, and wait a minute, before we continue, hold on. Before we continue, I have a disclaimer to read. On today, August the 3rd, in the year of our Lord 2022. The views and opinions expressed in tonight's I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast are those of the guest and host and do not reflect the official policy or position of any D9 organization. Any content provided by tonight's speakers are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. Now, because we know that you call nationals on us. So,
just your sorrow on the internet.
Right? You see, she was over there talking. So I was saying, so like I know we call it a national conference, but it's a different term that you use to describe this event.
Yeah, so we have boules.
There you go. See, I've been calling it a bull. So
my husband takes about me like all the time. Like he just laughs at all the things that we say.
At their boule, so this year, they named their honorary members, which is not abnormal. This is what happens at these conferences. And 3 of the people that were honorary members were Brownstone, not the old Brownstone, the new Brownstone. And
that's one thing we have to clarify.
It's the new Brownstone because I didn't recognize
really
a lot of them.
Nikki and 2 new chicks.
I was saying, one of them was the main.
It's Nikki Gilbert.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
right.
Isn't one no longer with?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So she is not an honorary member.
Okay.
On the glory.
That's why when you said all 3, I was like, wait a minute. Is that post-humorous?
You'll recognize one and the other 2 not so much.
Yes.
Okay.
It's pretty much like they like the Temptations. So,
there you go.
So when I saw that though, and I'm like, wait, that's all 3 of them? And the idea was in my mind of like, how do you bring in, because essentially everyone has a different personality, right? Like you and your best friend may not end up joining the same sorority or fraternity because you have different personalities, different organizations attract different people, period. So the idea that 3 people were from one group were brought in, or went through what they went through to be honorary members. It's like, well, wait, can we also do this with other R&B artists and singers? So that's where that idea came from. And then so tonight as we're getting ready for the show, I'm like, oh crap! I'm like, these other 2 people are also members, so we can absolutely play the D9 draft of
R&B groups,
R&B groups and just individuals of like, I mean, of course there are some that are members, but just that idea of like, if Brownstone is all as she rose, okay, got it. Like, but what about another group? Like, what about Boys to Men? like, what would Boyz II Men be? What would Jodeci be? So we're gonna have a little fun with all of this. Dee, if you want to speak to, like I said again, no one is speaking for the organization, but this is her opinion on whatever it is that she's gonna say. Go ahead.
Yes, so we just had our boule a couple of weeks ago in the birthplace of Sigma Gamma Rho, which is Indianapolis, Indiana. I did not get to go, unfortunately, so I was there in spirit, but I was able to see everything online. Shout out to Madam Past Grand Deborah Catchin Smith for those VIP seats up front. And she had I don't know who her cell phone provider is, but nobody else had signal, but she had signal and went live at every concert. So I need to find out from her.
She has a direct line. So the woman that she is speaking of, I actually met because we used to work together at the same company for years. And I didn't know that she was an SG Rho, but then like we figured it out. But that woman is, as I call her, the grand poobah of SG Rho. Like, I mean, and it's not an insult. It is. She is
pretty much
the person. Like she was actually national president before.
Yeah, so she was national president. She was the past national president. So our current president of the entire sorority is Rashida S. Liberty. But Madam Past Grand Deborah Catchin Smith, I got to say the whole name because otherwise I gotta put some respect on her name. But yeah, she was the past sorority president, who's also the chartering member of my chapter, Eta Mu Sigma. So she created our chapter. So she is not only my sorority sister, she is in my chapter. So like that's a grand honor as well. So, but yeah, so I got to see everything. So in regards to the honorary membership class, like they don't let you know who that is up front. So that's like under lock and key. So you don't find out until they're really ready to go through to be presented. Essentially. So since it's our centennial year, we're turning 100 this year. This is one of our larger classes that we had. So we have some good ones in there. So we got all of Brownstone.
There's nobody like a panel, like it's somebody to check and make sure that that somebody ain't tripping. Like,
So it goes through a regular process. So it goes through like our board of directors and international team. So from my understanding, the way it works, because they go through the same process as everybody else, but it's kind of more like VIP-ish in a sense, obviously, because these people are like celebrities, things of that nature. So of course, like they can't go through like the regular process that I would go through. So it's a little bit more exclusive for them, but and I think a lot of the D9 orgs do the same way. They just kind of see individuals or prominent figures in our community or things like that may be a good fit for their sorority or fraternity or whatnot. And speaking just on behalf, or not even behalf of Sigma Girl, but how I think it goes, they'll reach out, see if they're interested, things of that nature, and kind of take them through the process. So this can go over like years and things like that. I know at times different sororities can be like vying for the same people at times and things of that nature. It just kind of depends how it goes.
So it really isn't.
like I literally have no idea how it works. I just wait on the email to show up and tell me. Like the Candace is like I don't know. Like it's when I'm not I don't hold an official position in my sorority, and I'm not up. And then if I did, I'm not that high up to know what needs to be known. I just know who some past honorary members are, and I wait for the email to tell me who the new ones are, or for social media. So, like I don't even try to think. I don't know at all.
So we did have Brownstone, and I want to also say, as another singer songwriter, Marsha Ambrose is also an honorary member as well.
So you're saying you got one poetry, but
I said I didn't get the other girl from Florida.
Right, so you got one poetry.
I think Marsha's been doing her own thing.
I know.
For a little minute. So
what's crazy is I bet you people don't even know she was in a group called Floetry at this point. It's probably some young people don't even know that.
This
Yeah.
strong chance that could happen.
Because you're talking about like, that was 03, 04,
03,
05. So you're talking about 17 years ago.
Right. I mean, well, think of it. I mean, just like it's some. I mean, it's gonna be young folks that don't know that Ice Cube used to rap.
Or Will Smith.
Right? Like they. I mean, you don't know them as
Ice-T.
Like literally, my son.
Right. Oh my God. They have no idea that Ice-T wrote Cop Killer. Like, so all they know is that he's the
cop on SVU, one of them shows.
On SVU. That's all they know.
My son thinks Shaq is an insurance man. He doesn't know that he played basketball. He thinks
that's what I'm saying.
When you talk about how Shaq is like on everything, like I feel like he endorses my life, and especially when I go to Office Depot, like I don't unless there is like a 7-foot stand of him next to it saying he endorsed it. But like that's
get some ink.
Like literally, I bought this Epson printer that I got over here, like. Because of him. Like, I was like, oh, Shaq endorsed it. I'm about to get this one. So that's what we got.
New George Foreman.
That part, right? Man.
So for your organization, who would y'all want to draft since they're for y'all organization? Like, who's y'all number one pick? So I guess because people are vying for them, that's like a free agency. It sounds like to me.
I mean, right. So
well, for us, you can go ahead and give you, you get your letters up front. Then we'll fly you out. You know what I'm saying? You get a little food spread and you get your own banquet room popping for your autograph sign, and we'll buy 10,000 albums.
That is, I love it. Like just the idea of having a draft for your fraternity or sorority. Like who up on the clock next?
Yeah, who on the clock?
Wait a minute. Who gets to go first this year? Because last year wasn't that great for them. Like, so what?
Are they tanking for the number one pick?
Right. It's trades. It's phone
trades. Exactly.
It's trades. And phone calls being made. Like, so the idea of it, like, seriously, if I
let's
felt
keep
like,
it 100, Stacey. Can other sororities and fraternities not to be gender biased in the draft?
You gotta. Well, my official response is.
I can't. We can't back out of this. We can't back out.
My official response is that the sororities will recruit the women and the fraternities will recruit the men.
So what do y'all do with Saucy Santana?
It doesn't strike me as someone who would want to be in an organization. Saucy strikes me as like the GDI that doesn't care about y'all strolling. I'm gonna bust through the line. I don't care. I'm gonna be like, that's what Saucy gives me.
But this is a draft now. Anyone's available.
But to that point though, because it's a draft, I mean, you enter into the draft, but then it's like, was anybody gonna try to draft this person? So that's that other part, right?
Undrafted.
Which organization is willing to be like, I'll grab him? See what I'm saying? So nobody's gonna be like, no, I don't think so.
He the last pick.
That's it. He on day 2 of the draft when ain't nobody watching no more.
Yeah, he's still on the couch.
He's still on the couch waiting. That's it. Period.
All right, let's play. Who don't y'all want to draft? Let's go that route.
We gotta whittle that down.
I'm gonna throw out some random names I wrote down.
Go forward.
Would you all allow Tamia into your sororities?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What about Kaya?
To do what?
As an honorary member.
Nope.
No, not over here.
Nope.
I'm gonna have to decline.
No. Not over here. No, we're gonna go ahead and say no.
What about Trina?
So we talking about Kelis.
So the crazy thing is that I could see Kelis actually getting drafted. Mm-hmm. Like I can see that. I mean, the thing is that there is a level of talent that is there, and I feel like that there are if once she heals a little bit from what she got going on, I definitely think that there's a sorority that would be like, oh, like we'd absolutely love to have you here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, but she just can't get mad at the first,
Why
chapter.
y'all ain't pick me first?
Right, the first she can't get. Like, she gonna
That's
be
exactly what's gonna happen.
right. Like she can't get too mad at the first chapter meeting because that's how I would say that's how other chapters break off. So like, like that's my running joke about like how they'll be like. So it's an example is so you got the St. Louis alumni chapter and there's like a St. Louis metropolitan alumni chapter. So it's like which one was first? And why did that happen? Why did y'all break off into two, right? So in Dallas, it's so big, we break off into regions. Makes a lot more sense because of the drive. But like, who got mad at a chapter meeting one day about not being able to get their vote in, or somebody said something bad about they peach cobbler, and they said, you know what? This is the last time you say something bad about my peach cobbler, Bernice. I bet y'all start my own.
I bet it's like an 84. It's like something that happened in 84 that like where gangs be fighting and nobody know why because it was so long ago.
Exactly. Right. Everybody in your chapter now, can't nobody in your chapter now explain what exactly happened back then. But there's a reason that you got one chapter that was started in 1937 and another one that came up in 1994. What happened?
Come on, sister.
That's
exactly it. That's exactly it. Like I said, I mean, I have no proof of any of this. However, it makes so much sense, and I really need somebody to tell me that's what's happened, and that's how.
The charter members are taking that to the grave. Like my chapter split off from the original St. Louis chapter, Zeta Sigma, and then that broke off back in like 91, I want to say, and then it was for Ada Me Sigma. Ain't nobody telling that story.
That's what I'm saying. What happened at the sisterhood retreat? Like,
nobody's gonna like we don't know.
What'd you say?
I thought I was joking. I don't know it's for real. Like really, like you really don't know why it happened.
Nobody knows. I mean, it's not my place to know. Right, one, but two, I still want to know though because I'm nosy. I just need to know what happened, like why, like what happened over there. But we'll never know. But I think either way, I think Kelis could get drafted, but then she may end up trying to start her own thing. It may not even be another chapter. It may just be like I'm gonna do my own sorority all together, which is another thing that happens. So like when it comes to like the what are the girls, the sisters that sing gospel?
Mary.
Thank you. When I tell you that they name with my head, I cannot think of them for the sake of my life. They be in one of those Christian sororities, I think. Like they start their own. Like I think that's it. I think that's exactly it. There's what sometimes happens in Black Greek sorority.
What's up, y'all? This is RVS.
This is ROD, aka Rated R.
We are the We Coming For You cast, and we talk about pro wrestling from a black dude's perspective. Tell them what they can expect on this here podcast.
Oh, we gonna give you all the raw and dirty and everything black from AEW, WWE, Impact Wrestling, and any other wrestling in between. If you want your wrestling unfiltered, uncensored, and you want it raw, you need to subscribe to the We Coming For You cast.
Right here on SOLC Network.
Is that people will join and be around for years and then all of a sudden go to church 2 times and then decide that they can no longer be members for various reasons. And I feel like that would be Mary.
You see that old pastor that was a cute dog, like, nah, I can't hop with y'all this time, man. I gave my life to the Lord. But he got his boots in the trunk, though.
Yeah,
because they ain't left them nowhere.
Yeah.
I think Boys to Men would be alphas. If they took the whole group, I think they'd be alphas.
Like Shy. Wasn't most of the Shy alphas?
Yeah. Like that's what Garfield said. Garfield said all of them were alphas but him.
Yeah.
With him, yep.
That makes sense.
Yep, everybody in Shy is an alpha, but Garfield. Like,
what would Jodeci be?
Kings.
What?
No,
that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I think they might be
Golden
Kappa.
State would be Kappas. Yeah.
I think that Dalvin would have been a Kappa.
That's what I say about
No,
Ronnie
Dalvin
DeVoe.
would have been a Kappa. What do you say?
And by default, KC and JoJo would get in because they would want them to.
Yeah.
Man, we can't leave the others.
All that whining and crying.
I think you might be right now, but then, like I said, if you're trying to grab a whole group, what do you do with New Edition?
Yeah, I think they split up, man.
Definitely split up.
I see because I see
go to all. They would literally go to all 5 of the.
I was just going to say, all right.
I got Ronnie being a Kappa.
Yeah.
And Bobby being an Omega.
No. I can see Bobby being a Sigma.
Really?
You think?
That's an interesting
one. Yeah, I think it's the easy way out to put him in Omega because he was like wild, and like Omegas are known to be like wild and stuff like that. But when I think about the Sigmas at SEMO, like they had a very collegiate together style, but they also had like a very wild. It was like a combination of.
But is that also because the Kappas got kicked out of SEMO forever as well? That was
now. Because that's the other piece of this too, right? Because it's like you can look at who could fit into a sorority or fraternity, but is it like a sorority in the South or is it a sorority in the North? Because
that also makes a very big difference. That makes it very big because I had never even heard of Sigmas until I got to SEMO. Like at all.
And you know what? You might be right, Doctor, because they're from the East Coast. Sigmas are real big on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Points were made.
All right, what about Johnny Gill?
Yeah, iota.
No.
I'm talking shit, man.
No.
I don't know. I kind of feel like he might be like a Sigma. I don't know.
I can see that. I actually could see that.
I just feel like I want to put him there. Like I don't want to put him with the Qs. I just don't. Like I could see him throwing up the sign, but like I don't feel like it's a good fit. So I'm gonna throw him to the Sigmas.
I think that
is
works.
he actually in a fraternity?
I don't know. Let's find out, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's Google.
Let me Google.com.
What about Ralph? What about Ralph?
Ralph is an alpha.
Alpha.
So we're not gonna put him as Kappa since it's
How did they from Kappa?
I'm not getting Kappa from him.
Hey, look, fair enough. Now I'm looking at something.
Now we got what? Mike and Ricky.
Yeah. Okay. What about Ricky?
I kind of feel like Ricky would have been a Sigma. We might have a whole group of Sigmas.
I can see Ricky as
all
Sigma.
Sigmas except for Ronnie.
Except for Ronnie, yeah. I don't think be all Sigmas. But then like for the most part, like I don't know too much about the iotas to be like, who would I put there?
Nobody knows.
Nobody. That's why I brought it up.
I feel like iotas would, if I put somebody there, it's because I know very little about them. So I'm gonna be like, you can go to the iotas. Like I don't know.
So Sammy, the singer
Sammy.
Sammy.
Oh,
Sammy.
She just said that somebody she barely knows about. I was like, so Sammy, like somebody like.
Because like well yeah, like little Sammy, he probably back in the when he was a kid, when I knew of him, he probably would have been a Omega Squire.
That's exactly what he was. That's exactly what he was. Sammy was absolutely an Omega Squire. And he probably did go away to school, but after that first semester, he had to go ahead and go back home.
Yep.
Because, you know, their GPA wasn't right. And
school is hard.
School is hard. And he went ahead and just pursued his singing career. Because no matter what we say or joke about with any of these sororities, fraternities, there is a GPA requirement. Like, no matter what, at the end of the day, there was a GPA requirement in order for you to get up in there. Now, if you kept it the rest of your time in school, that's a different story. However, you did have to have it to get in there.
All right, last one is Michael Bivins in New Edition. Is he a Sigma as well? Or are we just going?
Nah, Michael Bivins didn't play, like he wouldn't be an honorary member. He would just still be at all of the shindigs though. Like you would think that he was something, but he's not. Like he's at all of, like he's the promoter for all the parties. So
yeah,
like
he the host of the
like, he the host of all the parties. So like it's all these different parties and everything, and it's like and he throwing them, and you think, oh, he must be Greek, right? But no one can.
Nobody can put their finger on it.
Because there's a space for that as well. There's a space for people who is like, you thought they were Greek because they hung out with a certain organization, and then they were like, nah, that was my roommate, or I was just cool with all of them. It's like,
right.
Shit.
Right. All my family, all of them, that's what they do. So, but that's Michael Bivins. I feel like just never. He don't even need the honorary titles because
too cool.
just he's like he's already doing everything. He's already hanging out with everybody, and it's all different stuff, and that's it. Or you're like, I ain't got time for all that shit. That's it, or whatever.
So, ladies, we play a game with our guests where you all choose the year of the Soul Train Awards, and we're gonna go through, and you all have to try to guess who won each category.
Ooh,
oh Jesus.
So y'all got to come to a consensus what year, because we ain't trying to blow. We only got a certain amount of years and a certain amount of guests with this award. We're gonna run out of Soul Train Awards in a while.
D, I'll let you choose the year.
I'm trying.
What I will say is, don't go back too far because you will get
between 88 and 99.
I think 86. I think is the first one.
Oh, 86. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the year I was born, so I'm not going there. I felt like I would not make it. I'm gonna try to get closer to the 2000s, so I'm gonna go with 99.
There you go.
99.
I feel like I can work something out there.
Because you at least want to recognize the names.
You can remember the songs when they was on the radio.
Right.
Candace, remind me to tell you something about Lynn Fidmont. Let me write that down.
Like I don't like looking at the XXL cover for the freshman class. Like they come out every year, and I don't know nothing.
I have not recognized anybody on that cover since at least 2016.
I can't tell you the last time I recognized somebody. My son knows everyone.
I think, what did they just say? Like the 2016 was probably like the last, like most successful class.
Yeah.
And
no,
it was like
it's got to be that Wiz Khalifa in them class.
2010 was it?
Yeah, it's like and the one whatever one the next one up is the Kendrick Lamar one, because it's Kendrick Lamar, Big Crit, color people on that one in that XXL class.
It's like I said, it's not 2016. Like I got to find the post in the group, but somebody brought it up in the group, and it was like. It's like, wait a minute, you was like, we already have used the 1999 Soul Train Awards. You have to pick another year. Kevin Johnson chose 99 previously.
All right, we'll take it back a year. 98.
98.
Okay, we can do 98. All right. I had to look at the fresh sheet. I was like, hold on, that number sounds. We didn't use that one. But. All right. So 1998 Soul Train Music Awards. All right. First category. Oh, this one was gonna be interesting. All right, R&B, soul, or rap album of the year. Mary J. Blige.
They put those together. Why would they put those together?
Oh no, Soul Train. This is where it gets. It's wild. This is where it's like really hard because they put people together in categories in here that have no business.
Okay.
Hey, Scott done fell out. He was like, you sure right.
All right, so Mary J. Blige, Share My World, Notorious Big, Life After Death, Erykah Badu, Baduism, Puff Daddy and the Family, No Way Out.
Oh, shit. Shoot.
You already said it now.
I'm gonna roll with that Puffy.
I feel like it's Puffy or Biggie. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't listening.
That Share My World album was to this day, that is a very, very memorable album. But I feel like even with that, it was Biggie's album.
What was
Erykah Badu? Badu was in one.
Are you serious?
No.
I ain't see that coming.
I did.
At all. I mean, it was
This
good.
next
But I
one.
just
All right, do another one. I'm gonna listen this time.
This next one is maybe the hardest one so far. I mean, probably the whole thing. Best R&B soul album, male. Maxwell, MTV Unplugged. Notorious Big, Life After Death. Joe, All That I Am. Chico DeBarge, Long Time No See.
It has
Wait
to
a
be
minute.
Maxwell.
Let's go. Wait a minute. I want you to tell me the category again.
No, let's move past
R&B soul album.
R&B soul album.
Male.
Male. Best
Male. And the second one was Biggie, Life After Death.
Yes, no,
When I tell you that I wish folks would go to hell, I don't. How dare you?
That's a trick question. I'm so what?
Yes, it's
I'm going with Maxwell.
I'm just trying to figure out who was the law offices that was like handling these like nominations. I feel like they missed, like somebody like dropped the suitcase and it missed.
law offices of Benjamin.
This was when Soul Train was like, so Soul Train historically said F rap music in general. This is their amendment to it by just throwing them in a whole bunch of categories in the late 90s. If you can do anything before the 90s, they never nominated rap at all. Yeah. But now it's like, oh, we just rap in the 90s. Like, because like if you go back and look, Don Cunnings kept calling Chuck D Flavor Flav, like in his interview. Like he's like, yeah, so Flavor Flav. You got a new album out. So they basically try to reset it by like just throwing rap in any category to appease the community of rap fans, basically.
Okay. I'm gonna go out on a limb and just stick with the R&B actual artists, and I'm gonna say Maxwell.
Stacey, what you got?
It's Maxwell, Biggie, and who else?
Maxwell, Biggie, Chico, Joe, basically.
Wait, what was the one? 98 Joe? Is that All That I Am?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to Joe.
What about you, Dr. Candace? You the last one.
I said Maxwell.
Maxwell. It's one of the best albums that y'all sleeping on. Chico DeBarge. No Way, Long Time No See. That album is hard.
Oh.
Is that the album with Love Still Good on it?
Yep.
Okay, I can see.
It's got Virgin on there. Ig and Me, like
that was the best.
Train. Okay. Superman Lover with Redman and Method Man on there. Like it's got some joints on there.
Okay.
All right. Best R&B soul group, band or duo. Puff Daddy and the Family, No Way Out. Kirk Franklin and God's Property. Boys to Men, Evolution. Jagged Edge, A Jagged Era.
I'm going with Kirk Franklin.
I'm going with Kirk. Because
can't lose with God.
Listen, first and foremost, I don't think you understand how much that God's Property CD means to me. Like that is when people like, you get stuck on a desert island with 5 albums that you can listen to for the rest of your life. Kirk Frank, that album is coming with me.
That's the one with Stomp on it.
Yep. But like once you get past Stomp, the rest of the album is amazing, and it's still getting heavy play to this day in my house. So I'm going with Kirk Franklin because ain't no party like a Holy Ghost party.
Eddie had rapping on it.
It had SOLC from SOLC on the Stomp remix. All right, Stacey, you got GP. Cool, Scott, you got GP.
Oh, you're with me.
Candace, you got.
What did you say they were again? Because I had my choice, but then I started getting lost.
We got Kirk Family and God's Property, Boys to Men, Evolution, Puff Daddy and the Family, No Way Out, Jagged Edge, or Jagged Edge.
It was Jagged Edge. That's why I had said Jagged Edge.
You going with Jagged Edge?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dee Dee.
Okay. Are we R&B soul group? And I either got to go with.
Really, don't even worry about the category. Just
a guy. Okay.
Yeah, they just throwing people.
Don't get hung up in the category name. It's just these 4 artists.
Just these 4 artists. Okay, I'm gonna have to give it to Kurt.
All right. Dr. Candace got it. Jagged Edge.
What? No, it was new.
I'm losing.
New group.
See, this is what happened. Every day we stray further and further away from God's grace.
All right, next up, best R&B soul single male. These are actually all R&B artists. So for once, all right. Kenny Lattimore, For You. Usher, You Make Me Wanna. R. Kelly, I Believe I Can Fly. Joe, Don't Want to Be a Player.
Here's the thing: they probably gave it to Aura.
I feel like it's R. Kelly.
Who it should be was Kenny Lattimore's.
I was
who they
thinking
gave it
Lattimore.
to was R. Kelly.
I still hear that at people's weddings.
Listen,
I'll sing it at the top of my lungs.
Is that
right
a consensus for everyone?
Kenny Lattimore?
I think
what she said when she said Kenny Lattimore should have won, but R. Kelly did win.
Yeah, people played the mess out of that song. Like you can
like they had
congratulations, bursts, like everything. Like, that book was playing.
It was like the '99 Super Bowl. Then they had R. Kelly there. Like Candace Pate was out there singing with R. Kelly on the field at the Super Bowl game. Like for the thing. So like yeah, I think there was Aura. I think.
All right, it is Usher. You Make Me Wanna.
Really?
Didn't expect young Usher.
All right, next up, best R&B soul single female. All these are R&B artists as well, so they doing okay now. All right, Erykah Badu, On and On. Janet Jackson, Got Till It's Gone. Mary J. Blige, I Can Love You. Aaliyah, Journey to the Past.
I'm gonna go with Mary J.
And I'm going
me too.
Mary J.
Erykah Badu had a great night. On and On, Erykah Badu.
Damn.
And you know, as you're going through this, maybe I'm thinking of this as like the longevity of these songs because some of these things that you're, and that's because some of these songs like Mary right now, I will play that right now.
But you gotta think that year, like Erykah Badu, that 98 year was
98.
And what's crazy is now I'm sitting there thinking, there's this picture of Erykah Badu at an award show, and she's holding her awards, and I'm thinking, is that Soul Train at night?
It might be.
Like, is that the picture that I'm thinking of? Like she has on green. She's definitely first album because I have like she looks young. She's very, very skinny, right? I mean, she ain't big now, but she was like really, the 90s skinny we all used to be. And there's like I'm like, let me see. I gotta find it because I know this picture is in my head of her. Next category because this is silly.
It's best R&B soul single group, band, or duo. LSG, My Body. Drew Hill, In My Bed. Destiny's Child, No No No. And Puff Daddy and Faith Evans featuring 112, I'll Be Missing You.
See, I need to know if that was the No 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 remix or the original, and I'm sure it was the remix.
I'm gonna go with Drew Hill.
I want it to be LSG. Listen.
I have been stuck on LSG since you said LSG. I am still not over Gerald no longer being here with us. I've been stuck there. So I'm gonna go with LSG.
I'm gonna go with Drew.
I'm going with LSG, and we're going with RIP to Gerald.
It's Drew Hill, In My Bed.
Drew Hill.
Every time I hear My Body, I think about Steve on American Dad singing it.
Yeah.
That is funny. Like it's him like in his restaurant, this fast food restaurant, singing it to a booth of black women, and he's singing My Body, and it's the funniest shit ever.
I gotta find that.
Talking about what her and Gerald Levert dating, and she literally is like, she's like, you know why me and Gerald Levert didn't get married? Because he died. That's what she said.
Really?
Who said that?
Kim Whitley. She's like, we didn't get married because he died. He died on me, and that's why we not married. And that is the funniest shit to me because why, like, of all the things to say, who says that? Right? Like we didn't get married because he died. Oh,
like man. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Let's watch it.
All right, next up, the Michael Jackson Award for Best R&B and Soul or Rap Music. Just alone, for no reason. This is a random award for this to be named after Michael Jackson. Looks like
this is just a random ass award.
Elliott, The Rain, Super Duper Fly, Busta Rhymes, Put Your Hands Where Your Eyes Can See, Puff Daddy and Faith Evans, I'll Be Missing You, Ice Cube, The World Is Mine.
I feel like they really want Puffy to win something, so I'm gonna go to him.
Yeah, they throwing Puffy.
I feel like this is his time now.
They were like, "Why is he here? I don't want it."
I don't know why. I'm just gonna give that one to him.
No, I'm gonna go with Missy.
What you, Stacey?
I think I'm gonna go with Missy.
Scott,
I'm gonna roll with Missy. With Missy on that one.
Dee Dee is correct. They had to give Puffy an award. That was it.
Because didn't he perform?
He performed All About the Benjamins that night.
I'm saying, did he bring the choir out? Well, I'll be missing.
No,
He was thinking all white.
That's the MTV Awards.
Okay.
That's
one of them awards.
Right.
All right. Next up, our last one we'll talk about best R&B, soul, or rap new artist. God's Property, Erykah Badu, Missy Elliott, or Puff Daddy.
Best new.
I'm gonna go with Missy.
Can you list those for me one more time? Because God's Property threw me off.
Missy Elliott, Puff Daddy, God's Property, Erykah Badu.
I'm gonna go with Erykah.
I'm gonna go with Erykah.
I feel like she could have slept that night.
I think that was her best award night.
I'm gonna go with Erykah as well.
Stacey, what you got?
What I said Missy, didn't I?
Yeah.
I want
It is Erykah Badu. It is Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
She won that. Now the performances are crazy because Ron Isley is doing XL Shoop on here. It says for performances because they did a Whitney Houston tribute.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was like, wait.
So that was her lifetime achievement for soul.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This actually was a pretty good show. They had Janet Jackson on here. Boys the Men did a joint.
I was Whitney. I wouldn't have showed up. I hope she wasn't there.
That was Velvet Rope.
She was there,
wasn't it?
She was there.
I hope if I was Whitney, I would not have brought I told them all to kiss my ass. Y'all booed my ass.
Oh, who do I think was entertainer of the year? I'm not gonna give you any nominations.
Entertainer of the year.
Entertainment of the year of 1998.
Shit, I don't even remember 98.
That's what you great say. My mind literally goes 96, 2022.
Entertainer of the year in 98.
I'm gonna give it to Erykah.
I'm gonna go with Puff.
Dee Dee, you was on to something. It's the Puff. They had to give him another award. He showed up.
I thought it was sweet. Okay.
They gave it to him because he was grieving.
Yeah, like he lost his friend. Let's give him something.
Never want to talk about how folks get award. If somebody in your family dies, it's a strong chance you're gonna get an award.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about that, but it absolutely happened.
I mean, did Nipsey win Best Rap Album when he died?
I think at BET. I think at BET did.
Where is it at? So wait, I'm trying to find this music fact. So there's a wonderful woman by the name of Lynn Fidmont. She's from St. Louis, Missouri. She's a singer. She's kind of a jazz singer. There's a song that she sang that only Candace and I know, apparently. Me, you, and Grown Man. Only 3 people that know this song. And it's called You Were Loved. And but why she crossed my mind is that the other day on the interwebs, and Don Lewis from A Different World, Jaleesa, was talking about how the original theme song for A Different World she sang. The problem is that they didn't realize that they had hired her to write and sing the theme song, but also had hired her to act. They didn't realize they'd hired the same damn person.
Oh.
So, but the original version was Don Lewis and Lynn Fidmont and somebody else. I can't remember who the other person was who did the song. And then what ended up happening is some woman, Phoebe Snow, ended up singing the first version of the different world theme song. That's your music for the day.
Oh.
Put that in your pocket.
I found her. Okay.
I always thought it was.
And homework for everybody is to find You Are Loved and listen to it. Because that is one of the most beautiful songs I have ever heard in my life.
Absolutely.
When did it come out? So they can't. When did it come out? Because I'm seeing one, but it looks
so
like
So You're Loved it came out in the 90s, like early 90s. So your
It was
best
a Quiet Storm
is
classic.
on YouTube to hear the original version of it. The version that I listen to now on Spotify is more of an acoustic version, but it's actually, I mean, it's beautiful either way. But the acoustic version just gives me chills. But if you heard the original, then you might be like, wait a minute, I have heard this song before. But most like usually whenever we talk about it, I knew, I always remembered it, and then knowing Candace and mentioning it to her, Candace is like, wait a minute, I don't know what the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, oh my God, really? Thank you. And
the crazy thing is when we had that conversation, my mind literally exploded because I was like, I have been trying to convince people for years that this song exists. And Stacey immediately was like, oh, that's da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, somebody else knows the song that I'm talking about.
We knew the melody.
Yes.
We did not know who sang it. We just we knew the melody. we knew the kind of like that little chorus part, but that's it. And no one knew. And so Candace and I know this song, and then one day mentioned it to grown man, and he was like, oh, that's Lynn Fidmont.
He's like, I know her back in the day.
Where have you been my entire life? Like, are you freaking kidding me?
And you got the fire ribs.
Right. And then knew exactly who else she was and found her. So y'all go out there, look for Lynn Fidmont, and
I already found it.
You Were Loved.
Yeah.
And fall in love with it. It will be played at my next wedding. And that's that.
Remember when we were trying to find the song that I wanted to play at my wedding that they played at, I think it was Tony's wedding on Girlfriends, and nobody had it.
It was a made up song, but we. But the crazy thing, but she finds it 10 years after she got married. She's like, wait a minute, I finally found it. Oh, well, play it at the vow renewal, I guess.
Hey, renew the vows.
I don't think. But all we knew was that the song was. And this at that point, I think what Girlfriends wasn't streaming. And and if you just Google the song, people were like, oh, I'm trying to find it too. So every message board was, I don't know. Just find out, let me know. I don't even know. But there's nothing worse than remembering a song that no one else remembers, especially if you don't remember a lot about the song. Maybe you just remember the beat, or you just remember a couple of words, and nobody knows what the hell you're talking about. There's a song to this day that I remember from the 90s. I remember the video. And it's 3 women, and they were rapping. And I remember one little small part of that song. And I tell you that I can't tell you anything else about it. It's ungoogleable. It's just not out there. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I think even after the song came out, a couple of months later, talking about it, everybody's like, what the hell are you talking about? I saw the video.
It's probably on that VHS that's missing from your grandma's house.
I need you to understand that tape had some hits on it.
The things my sister could convince me to do as a kid and make me feel like it was the most important job in the whole world.
Right.
Let me sitting in front of that TV, and I literally had every 3-digit code memorized on the box. And sat and just watched and stared at the screen, waiting for the number to come up.
I remember.
That's where my anxiety comes.
It's
those numbers coming up on the screen. It's like, oh my God, it's my song. And
right. And I thought that was my most important. I was placed here on this earth to be this person to go find these videos.
There was a list. We literally had a piece of paper written down with the code and what the song was, so that you knew when your song was about to come up. And she was in charge of press and play on press and record on the VCR, and she better not mess up. This is what your responsibility is to hit record. Don't mess this up. Is all I'm saying. And she did good. She's still here. I was saying,
if I was bitter, she'd be dead.
That's all I'm saying. If I was bitter, she'd be dead. She did a great job. I said, but that tape, it was. It had so much it had so much random stuff. So I think we had the privilege of being at a time where the lines of pop music and R&B and rap and everything kind of meshed together. And we got to, if you listen to Z1077 in St. Louis, you heard everything. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't that's a white song. Like, nah, you might be listening to Counting Crows. And it wasn't a big deal. Like everybody, that's what we were doing. So we got this tape of music videos. So it may be from BET, it might be from the box, it might be from MTV. It could anyway. So you could literally have Monica playing 1 second and having Bone, and then the next one is NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys. So like the way that I love what's the song? It's Gonna Be Me with NSYNC. Like we take that video and I watch it all the time. We always say that we discovered Bow Wow because of that Monica video. What's the name from Big Mama's House? And like we literally, the way that the tape is cut or the way we cut it was to only get that part of Bow Wow rapping on her video.
Oh, he was on that song.
Yep, that's it. Like we were like, what the hell's the name of the song? It's from the Big Mama's House soundtrack. It's a song that
is it the Bounce With Me song?
Play it right now. People be like, what the hell? Who's this? What song is this? No one will remember it. But it cuts off to Jermaine Dupri is sitting on the front porch in a rocking chair, rocking back and forth, and then Bow Wow comes out and it's like,
I got to have it.
I got to have it, right? You're like, like, who is this little boy with a iced out Mickey Mouse around his neck? We were like, this nigga cold. Who is this boy? I don't know who he is. This nigga.
And then because that song "Bounce With Me" was the joint he had.
That was it. So he does Bounce With Me on there. And it's like, wait a minute. Oh my God. So like, as far as we're concerned, we discovered Bow Wow.
That's very true.
When we feel like that, like, man, I discovered such and such. And you're like, dang. But you really feel like you did.
Yeah, we discovered Bow Wow. Our mother found them kids that got kidnapped in St. Louis.
Elon, or was it Elon? What was his name?
Something.
Ben. Oh my God, one was Ben, and the other one was. It
was two little boys who got kidnapped. One of them had been kidnapped had been gone for years, and one of them had just only been gone for a little bit. And in St. Louis, they ended up finding them. Like it was on the south side or like Kirkwood or something like that, where they ended up finding what is the boy's name?
Oh, no, that was the one they made the movie about.
Is it? Work for emos.
Yeah, like that was. I remember emos. And like I said, like emos is in there somewhere.
So that's got to be like 05,
something like that. So
John Hornback and Ben Omby.
Right, there we go. What we know is this. Our mother broke that story before any news station had it. I don't know how Brenda knew. We don't know. But we know that she announced it to everybody before any news station had it. She's like, they done found them boys. Who found them? What are you talking about? And she's telling us the story. We're like, but how do you know this?
So
bring our back. Okay.
So you remember, so this was before, like, now the national alerts, like you get them no matter what, like it's automatic. So this is like when that program was just starting out where you got the alerts on the phone and you had to like literally like either text or call or sign up for it. She did that. She was the only person at this point that ever signed up for this pilot program about missing children. Like nobody else knew what this was or what it existed. Which explains a lot about our mother and how she gets into like certain situations.
Like, now bring Brenda on this show.
Right.
That's a whole other.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be like a series or something. Like to this day, every time I talk to her, and I talk to my mom like every day, because like, well, she ain't talking to one, and then like I'm like the only one left here in St. Louis that picks up the phone, I guess. But every day it's like a new story. And she'd be like, I did so and so. I'm like, wait, what? Or something. Like it's just be weird stuff. Like she told me like she was when she went to community college, she got some type of certificate where she can go appraise houses. Like what? When?
Did she? Like, did she really? Like, and here's the thing. Wait a minute. And then now that you say that, yes, she did. Like I'm saying, like, wait a minute, she sure did. I absolutely now, like I'm thinking about, I'm like, yes, she did. So the way that I kind of have certificates and I'm like, I have all these different things that I do. I never thought about like I get that from her, but yeah, like now that I think about it, I'm like, wait a minute, like I do remember her deciding that she was going to be an appraiser at one point in her life. Damn, that's insane. Like I'm sitting there thinking, like, what? Who? Like, and she's absolutely not doing that right now. Right now, she works for FEMA. She over in Montana right now for whatever reason. Like, well, there's a whole national disaster there, but either way. So that's it. That's the story of our mother. Like,
are you
more
still an
information
ordained
about my
minister?
mother, visit me on Stacey Adams on the Instagram.
Stacey, speaking of your certificates, are you still an ordained minister?
I am.
Me too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did. It was I forgot. It's been like since 2014. I forgot when I did it, but I was like, oh, let me be an ordained minister. It was just kind of like how I became a notary public. It was just
right.
like,
So she's like, I still want to be a notary, and she's a notary now, but I'm not a notary yet. But yeah, I am an ordained minister.
I just wanted the stamp. Like that was it. I wanted the seal.
That's why she became a notary, because she wanted to stamp things.
And then I decided pretty much I just wanted the gold seal, but like I didn't know how official it was. Like you literally had to go and get like sworn in and stuff. So like I really thought I was about it. So I got like the little booklet and the stamp. Like I'm government official, and I'm trying to figure out how I can get a pension because of that. But like I don't know yet.
This is literally what we'll sit around and think about, like just the randomness of things. We'll be like, I want to get a stamp and be a notary, and just go become a note. Like, okay, we go figure out how to be a notary. And I wanted to be an it was whatever I was watching something on TV, and I was like, I should be an ordained minister.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be that as I'm gonna be. So yeah, I am still an ordained minister.
Universal Life Church or whatever. Like, yeah, I got a whole certificate somewhere in my closet and everything. And I had a whole outfit picked out. It was like one of those like lady of the church pastor robes that was bedazzled on the arms, like so I can go perform.
My graduation robe.
Nobody's took me up on this offer yet. Like I offer all the time to step in. Don't nobody want to. I'm like, I feel like I'm absolutely wearing my graduation robe. I paid for it, I only wear it once, so I can wear that at the ceremony. It's not that hard. Like the lady that married us, like our little thing was like 5 minutes at Caldy's Coffee. So I'm just saying, like,
we absolutely got married at Caldy's Coffee. That's not a joke. That's really what happened.
Very true.
However, it's like my next wedding might be Starbucks.
Your next wedding.
Dee will tell you there's no one can confirm or deny if I have or have not been married before, nor how much I get in alimony every month. It's a secret. There's been some divorces. Someone was annulled. So
I ain't mad at anything annulled. Annulled is a great thing.
It was annulled, and let's leave it at that.
With Dee Dee and Dr. Candace, thank y'all for coming on. Where can people, if y'all want people to reach out to y'all, where would they hit you up at?
Oh, no one's ever asked me this before. Oh.
My water.
Oh, I get to do like they do on the radios. Oh, yeah.
I'll come back to you. You figure it out. You figure out what your how people are supposed to contact you, and Candace, you go.
There's a couple of different ways people can contact me. The best way to contact me on Facebook, I think my name is like Candace E. Anthony to make it official. You will see Candace A. That's also me, but that's family me. Candace life. E. That's right, former life. Because I literally still have all old pictures and stuff, but that's former life. But I am most active on Instagram, which is at Dr.Candacea.com. So that's Dr.CANDACEA. I said .com, but that's also because I have drcandacea.com, but it's locked right now because there's some new stuff coming over the next month.
Come on,
so don't go there. But yeah, Instagram is where people can find me.
And just real quick, let them know you're a doctor. What kind of doctor are you? Are you a doctor like Dr. Pepper? Are you like?
So it is actually a doctorate of education. So I have my EDD in higher education leadership. So I've done a lot of work with mental health, like the crossover between mental health and education. And my sweet spot when it comes to the people that I work with is usually like 16 to 26, which is why I just went ahead and got the higher education piece. I literally graduated in August 2019 and said I was going to take a 6-month break, and 6 months later we were in a pandemic. So it was like,
amen.
But yeah.
We're going to the Western. All right, Dee, do you know how people can find you now?
I'm sure. If you want to get in contact with me, you can find me on the Facebook at Dee Dee Verzuz. That is DEEDEE Verzuz. LinkedIn is Denise Verzuz because I'm extra professional. There's a whole bunch of letters behind my name, and I don't remember them right now.
She does have a lot of.
But like, I like to showcase those 2 master degrees because that cost me an opportunity.
Like I should mention that educated panel here. So not only does Candace has her doctorate, and my sister has 2 master's degrees, and got them at the same damn time.
Woo! Program because I'm crazy, but also font bond was done, and I did not want to pay back Sally Mae because I was not where I am today.
Exactly why she went and got 2 master's degrees is because she did not want to pay back her student loans. That is not a joke. That is literally what happened.
It's very true. People think like, oh, you did HR, so it makes sense that you like got some master degrees in HR. No, I saw the HR program, and they had another one that extended it longer, and I was just like, oh, bet. Like, so this is gonna give me like another year. Bring it on. We got it.
All right. So for me, y'all know you hit me up on any social media platform. Stacey Adams, all one word. Stacey with the E and Adams with the Z.
Scott, where can people hit you up at, man?
Hey, I'm back, but it's cool ass Scott everywhere, and yeah, we out here, Grandma.
Absolutely.
I just having technical.
All our social media.
But
thank y'all for supporting us even through the hunger strike that went on last week.
And I'll do it again.
Hey, Stacey don't be playing, man. I go to Stacey when I have problems.
When we start creeping to 500, there's no hunger strikes going to happen for the next subscription drive.
There you go. Y'all ain't going to fight me.
Who gonna whoop your ass?
Who gonna whoop my ass? Nobody.
Nan person.
Is that literally only a St. Louis thing?
What?
That you ain't gonna whoop my ass? I feel like we feel that in our spirit of like but you ain't gonna whoop my ass though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I say that a lot, but I feel like because of who my sister is, I'd be like, you ain't about to whoop my ass.
Whoop her ass because they ain't nobody gonna whoop my ass. So that's where that goes.
I survived all these many years just by that statement. Ain't nobody touched me yet.
I think it might be a St. Louis thing, though.
That's interesting. Is that a St. Louis thing? We need to ask that question somewhere. Like, is that a St. Louis thing? They ain't gonna whoop your ass.
I know St. Louis, the only place that called Cortez Nike's dope man.
See, the first time that I heard somebody say Nike Cortez, I said, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, "Dope man."
Dope man Nike.
I didn't find out they was called Cortez, so I was in high school.
I think I know I was in my early 20s. I think first time I heard somebody else call them something else, and I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Nah." Or hell, with Forces, but niggas in New York call them uptowns.
Uptown.
Mm-hmm. So.
No, they call them, and I don't know if this is just a younger generation, but my son, who is 16, calls them G Herbos.
G Herbos? What?
How did we get there?
We had a whole 20-minute discussion about this because
Nelly made a song.
that don't mean nothing to them. They are G Herbos, and I don't. Yeah, it's a daily battle here. Like if you have teenagers, it's a daily battle that I struggle with.
I pray for anyone who has to deal with the younger generation. Anybody that's younger than you, actually, because teenagers are just horrible and lazy, and then the toddlers are terrorists. I know it's some 4 and 5 year olds out there that got a mouth on them. That's all I'm gonna say. They got a mouth on them.
One of them lives with me.
That baby done been here before.
Right. Got a whole mouth on them.
Well, thank y'all again, ladies. Once again, we appreciate y'all so much coming out, hanging out with us.
Thank you. It was so much fun.
I know. Thanks for having us.
I appreciate everything.
I'm about to add this to my LinkedIn profile. I got to keep up these awards. I got to keep up my sister. I got to put this on there.